gas storm, man.
Nobody calls Han Solo a bitch.
Bring him on. I prefer a straight fight to all this sneaking around.
I don't know where you get your delusions, laser brain.
Oh, come on, bro. It's the wars.
So we're about to do something pretty amazing. After the last few episodes, who would have thought that we might actually throw some praise Disney's way? This is The Wars and More. I'm Joe, and of course with me is my good buddy Doug. Hey Doug, how you doing this week?
Doing pretty good, Joe. How you doing?
I'm stunned.
Stunned.
I don't know how I can make this turn.
Oh.
Just get there to where I'm like, wow, they did something right.
Yes.
They haven't been doing that lately.
Right.
And it seems like every time that they're like, and I'll say this, like looking back at the Acolyte, you think about how many times they started to like get it going and get it right, gain momentum. They're just like, nah, we don't want to do that.
Yeah, that was a problem for sure.
Like, and then we get to this, and I'm like, wow, I can't really find any fault with what I'm seeing this week.
Right.
Which I guess is good.
Yeah, of course.
So, the first thing that I'm talking about is, well, they had the D23 Expo, right?
Right.
And of course, with D23, there's going to be some Star Wars sprinkled in.
Of course. Why wouldn't
so,
it be?
I mean, it just makes sense. I mean, we get to see part of what they showed there. Because apparently there's also a Mandalorian and Grogu trailer that is exclusive to attendees.
Right.
So Disney's doing a good job of mopping up anybody who filmed during that.
I like how you put that, mopping them up.
Yeah, I mean, they did the same thing back when I went to Celebration and saw that Mandalorian sneak peek.
Right.
You know, they did a really good job of mopping that up. So, and and everybody who listens to this show remembers I was staying tight-lipped about it myself.
Right.
Like, let's honor the spirit of the thing, right? Sure. I'll say some things like, we got things to look forward to, but we're not supposed to be just yapping about this and telling you the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
So, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
the way you put it a little earlier was, you know, there's got to be some benefit to actually go into these events and, you know, get some sort of exclusive, which is fine. You know, that's cool.
Well, you know what I think about is like, you've been to some concerts recently,
right?
How annoying is it to just look at the person in front of you, watch the entire concert through their phone?
Oh, it's bad. Yeah,
it's
bad.
like, why not soak up the moment?
That's how I feel about it.
You know, is it that important to have video that you can look at later? And like, are you just, like, and I know how I am with photos and videos and stuff like that. Like, I'm probably going to look at it once or twice, show it to someone, and then it's gone, man.
Yep,
like,
exactly.
And, you know, when I replace that phone in a couple years, 5 years, whatever it takes for me to replace a phone these days, I feel like I had my S4 forever.
Right.
Had my S9 forever. So, like,
hey, I've still got my S9.
Nice. I probably would still have my S9 had it not just like, if my auto adjust turned on, right? Like, I couldn't see my screen.
Right.
I had to have it on full bright or I couldn't see shit.
Yeah.
So, needed to replace it. But, like, I lost a lot of stuff on those phones.
Sure.
And I'm like, it's just like, go to a concert, watch it, enjoy it, absorb the moment.
Absolutely. Make a memory. and
Yes.
and remember it. Yeah.
And not only that, there are, not to go off on too much of a tangent, but there are legit scientific studies out there, right?
Yep.
That say if you go on a trip, you go to a concert, you go to this, and you record everything, photograph everything, things like that, your memory of it is not retained.
Yeah, exactly.
Because your brain works this way. I don't have to remember that I took a picture of it.
Right.
So you won't get that I can just close my eyes and see it again kind of feeling about anything.
Right.
You may not recall something that happened or a conversation or this or that because that moment gets wiped from your brain because your brain's like, I took a picture. We're good.
Yep.
So soak this stuff up, people. Put the phones away. You go to D23, you go to Star Wars Celebration, live it, man. These events are so fun.
Right.
And they're way more fun if you're not staring at a screen. Speaking from experience.
Right.
You know, my first Star Wars Celebration was just before we started the show, if I remember it correct, or just after.
Right. It was right around then. I know that.
Right around when we started this show. And my second one, we were in full swing.
Right.
We were in full swing. And I went out there like fully intending to be like, I'm going to be on Twitter. I'm going to be sharing all this stuff, things like that.
Yep.
And man, I got so absorbed in this show, I didn't post a damn thing.
Yep.
I think I had like 4 posts and I'm there for 4 days.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they were all the first day.
That's awesome.
On Thursday, where all they had open were the shops. There weren't even any panels. We got in full swing and I put the phone away. It's just, dude, live it.
Right.
All right. Off my pedestal or soapbox.
Yeah.
D23, they did release a trailer for everyone to see, and that was for Skeleton Crew.
Yes. We've been expecting this show sometime this year, right? So.
Yep. And it turns out December 3rd.
Right. Something to look forward to. Yeah.
It is. And you know what? I'll say this. They were so tight-lipped about this show, they didn't really share that much. We didn't really know what to expect.
Exactly.
Hell, forever I thought it was an animated show until you corrected me.
Oh.
Like, no, it's live action. I'm like, really?
Right. Yeah. That's the thing is like, there's all these other series that were coming out, right? Leading up to this, right? We had, all the stuff everyone knows, the Kenobi, the Ahsoka, the Acolyte, all that. These were supposed to be major event shows, and that's what everyone was really keying into. This thing is just kind of like, strolling up the lane, and all of a sudden we see this trailer. Holy crap, this looks like it's going to be good.
Oh, man, I tell you, this is going to be the silent smash.
I think so, too.
Oh, it was so quiet. I saw this trailer. I'm watching it. I'm like, this looks fun.
Yes.
Like, this show just looks fun. Like, it doesn't look like it's going to take itself too seriously. It looks like it's going to be these kids off on an adventure.
Right.
Kind of like, what's the word for it? Star Wars.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah. This is being called, it looks Spielbergian, right? And it's like, I'm okay with it. It's some people are kind of criticizing it for that, right? There's that whole look into, Star Wars suburbia, but why wouldn't you have that? You know what I mean? There's going to be planets throughout the galaxy that are, different types of planets. We got that. you know.
I'm sure those people are like complaining about it. Like, oh, I can't believe they're doing this in Star Wars. Hey, when's the next season of Stranger Things coming out?
Right. I mean, there's that, right? But and everyone's got this, you know, it's got a Goonies feel to it. It's, you know, which great.
It really does.
You know, I
mean,
it
really does have a Goonies feel.
Especially the skeleton there is like, hey, it's One Eye Willie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
But it's
I mean, totally a Goonies vibe. Like, but that's because of what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's a lost Jedi temple. Like,
right.
So it's just like finding, you know, One Eye Willie's map. Like,
exactly. Which,
so
it's you said it. It feels kind of like lighthearted. And that's exactly what I think we need in Star Wars right now, because everything that we've been getting has been so dire and consequential, and, you know, the galaxy hangs in the balance, and, you know, it's like there's got to be a little bit of that, you know. It's an adventure.
Finally, they're going to make a show that can just exist in the Star Wars universe and not have to change the Star Wars universe. Exactly. Not have to shake it to its core.
Right.
Like, the hell are you doing? Why is everything got to be, like, saga defining?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I mean,
the thing
so far, last I checked, there's no one out there saying this is going to have the best this fight or that fight, or, you know, we're going to do it better than the Phantom Menace. We're going to do it better than, like, stop. Exactly.
I do like how low key this has been leading up to this, and it looks like it's just going to be fun. And don't get me wrong, I feel like this is going to have some sort of they tie everything together somehow, some way, you know. The rumor is it's going to, you know, have some sort of a little something tie-in elsewhere, you know, which I'm okay with. Star Wars has done a lot of that in the EU and all that stuff, right? We've had books written about background characters, but it's like, this is going on, I think around the same time as, you know, whatever, Mando, Ahsoka, blah, blah, blah. So, but it's often a different part, you know?
Think of all the tie-ins, right? Like, they've done things to tie into future Star Wars projects all over the place. And it can be as small as Chopper rolling through in the background while they're getting ready for the mission, you know?
Right.
Like, it could be as much as all the ships show up to the battle and, hey, whoa, is that the Ghost?
Yes.
You know, like, I mean, just because it's going to tie in doesn't mean it's got to, like, lay the foundation for the future.
Exactly. Yes, it can tie in, but it doesn't have to be like, well, if these kids hadn't found, you know, One Eye Willie's treasure, you know, the New Republic would have gone bankrupt or something, you know, something like that. Whatever. It's. I just have a feeling it's going to be fun. And that's kind of what we need in Star Wars right now, you know. No, who knows? Yet to be seen, but no underlying hidden messages you're supposed to pick up on, and if you don't, you're stupid. You know, all that kind of stuff. You know, just let's make a fun series here and enjoy some Star Wars.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as long as they don't go, you know, oh, they found this temple and then they did this, and then wait a second, they stumbled onto plans to start Killer Base. Like, what the?
Right, exactly.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, no. I can't believe I did that. I hate that.
That's okay.
But they don't. It doesn't have to be anything but an adventure in the Star Wars universe. Tell a story,
Right.
you know? And it's perfect. You got these kids living a quiet life. They're going to school. They're doing whatever, and they want to go on an adventure.
That's the thing, right?
Just like every kid.
The school, it's boring. It's mundane. It's the same thing every day, right? It's what we all felt
school.
as kids. Exactly. So it's like to go from there into, hey, I found this thing, and it sends you on an adventure, and you know, all of a sudden, boom, you know, judging from the trailer, you meet this Jedi, you know, and who knows, you know, there's already speculation as to, you know, Jude Law's character, like, how do you survive Order 66? And who cares about all that right now? You know what? Let's just watch this and let it.
This is all post Death Star 2, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Because,
But I mean, his age, you know, he would be older than Luke after that. But it could, you know, it could just be somebody in touch with the Force. You know,
right?
Doesn't always have to be so consequential. You know, it's like.
Well, I love how, I mean, everywhere it's credited, it just says Force user.
Exactly.
Doesn't say Jedi.
Right.
They're saying he's a Jedi because there's legend, right? There's
right.
There's stories.
I mean, we're talking that point in the timeline, you know, the story of Luke Skywalker and all of that is going to be like kind of top of the news a little bit on the HoloNet, right? I mean, the kids are going to be learning about that in school, so they will probably have some sort of context as to what a Jedi is at that point. But, you know, maybe not have ever seen one, you know?
I'm guessing just like anyone who could do the magic fingers thing is a Jedi.
Exactly.
You know, that's the way they're going to see it.
Yep.
There's your Mandalorian tie-in right there.
Exactly.
Do the magic fingers. So,
but yeah,
no, I like it. It looks fun. That's all I can say.
Exactly.
And that alone has got me re-energized to watch some Star Wars.
I 100% agree.
I just want to have fun, man.
Right. Exactly. So I'm gonna do this because it kind of makes sense in this context. And I think we've said all we really need to say on that so far, but who'd ever thought that we'd say lately Marvel's been more fun than Star Wars?
Oh, you're going to segue already?
Hey, well, what is there more? You got more on it?
I had one more thing.
Oh, okay. Then I refrain. Go ahead.
While we were talking about the Acolyte, Kenobi, all these things, right? Way back in May,
Right.
Jaleel White.
Oh, yeah.
So Steve Urkel was at an Edmonton Oilers game and revealed that he was part of the cast for Skeleton Crew.
Oh.
Okay. And in this, he says, yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's different than I've ever done. I was in makeup for 2 hours and I get to play a pirate.
Interesting.
So everyone was saying back then, and we missed all of this because we were talking about this other stuff.
Right.
And being very, very angry about Star Wars. Right? Our anger blinded us.
Yes.
And this speculation started right then. Oh my God, he's Hondo Onaka.
Ooh.
And I'm like, I thought about it at first. I'm like, I don't see that because I was getting ready for, this show. And I hadn't watched the trailer yet. So I'm reading all this stuff, people saying, oh, he's going to be Hondo Onaka. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think they're going to do that.
Right.
Then I watched the trailer. And I saw the lightheartedness. The kind of fun vibe that it had going on.
Right.
I'm like, man, Hondo would be a great villain for this.
Yes, he would.
I mean, throw a goofy villain in there. That's probably going to work pretty well.
I got to agree. I mean, that would work really good.
I mean, he could be any pirate, right? Like,
sure.
You know, and Hondo would be pretty old here, you know? Like,
yeah, that's true, because he'd been around. I mean, back to the Clone Wars. Dang.
But I mean, Jaleel White's a guy who's proven in the past he can play persona, right? Like, he can body language it up, and like, so he'd be a good guy to play Hondo Ohnaka.
Right.
I mean, so I gotta say, I fingers crossed that a Hondo Ohnaka appearance would be pretty sweet.
Yes, it would.
And everyone's saying, "Oh, that's the setup for the Mandalorian and Grogu."
Oh, wow!
You know, because I mean, is the Mandalorian and Grogu supposed to be this Mandoverse wrap up, right?
You know, I guess. I keep hearing different things, you know.
I mean, if they're filming already, that doesn't add up.
Right.
Because you got Ahsoka Season 2 still to come. Are they filming that yet? Is it a go? Like, are they going to film it after this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, because if the Mandalorian and Grogu is supposed to be what everyone was saying, you know, Thrawn's going to be the big bad, and, you know, this culmination of the Mandoverse, this movie's going to be that culmination. If Ahsoka Season 2 doesn't come out before then, and those characters come back to join the crew, it's not going to be that culmination.
Right.
It's just going to be... maybe they're going to keep this vibe, and Mandalorian and Grogu are just going to go do some bounty hunting and just be a fun adventure story, which would probably kick ass.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Interesting. Hondo would work in that, you know, lighthearted vibe that we're talking about really well, though. Yeah.
Yes. I think watching that trailer, seeing that lighthearted adventure vibe, you got to throw an antagonist in there.
Right. For sure.
Hondo Ohnaka would be a good fit.
Yes, he would.
I mean, almost natural.
Exactly.
Wisecracking, smart-ass villain, that fits in right away.
Right.
You know, he's going to trick you.
Yep.
So, yeah. All right. So, going back to what you said.
Yeah, what did I say?
It's tough to say Marvel's better.
Oh, yeah.
Was it before this, though?
Before this? Not so sure.
Okay. I'd agree with you after watching this movie that we're about to talk about.
I was going to say, yeah, over $1 billion makes it. Yeah.
Makes it pretty sweet.
Yes.
So we're talking Deadpool, Wolverine, of course.
Of course.
And yeah, this one, they did it right, man.
Oh my God.
They did it right.
Yes.
Don't take your kids. Don't take your young kids.
Don't take your young kids. I mean, I don't know. Or hey, take your
you
young
got some
kids.
teenagers?
Take your young kids. Yeah, go ahead, but then you're going to have lots of explaining to do. Just saying.
And you're going to have to correct some language for a while.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I'm never going to be the type of parent who tells other parents what they should or should not do. So it's
I'm with you.
It's like, just go into it knowing, yeah, you're going to have to explain a whole bunch of stuff because they're going to pick up on stuff and be like, hey, why? You know, yeah.
And I only said, like, don't take your kids as a, like, your first viewing, don't take your kids.
There you go. Yeah.
go make sure that's what you want your kids to see.
Exactly.
Because I'm going to tell you what. When I was growing up, I used to watch The Simpsons all the time, right?
Oh, sure.
And my mom happened to walk in one time while we're watching The Simpsons. And it was the episode where Homer and Marge, they go off on vacation and they leave the kids with Abe.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yep. And
they come back and the state's taking the kids away.
Oh, nice.
You know, and the scene my mom walks into was like, we leave you alone with the kids for 2 days and the state takes them away. And Abe's like, oh, bitch. And my mom was like, that's it. No more.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, what? What's wrong with that?
Yeah. Yeah, you haven't seen nothing.
Yeah, that lost The Simpsons for me for like a year.
Wow.
So not a whole year. My dad kind of like, he was loose about that. But if
Right.
my mom was home, there was no Simpsons.
Right.
So
That's
yeah.
funny.
But yeah, man, this movie, I gotta say, like, one, we've never seen a movie comic book this hard.
Right.
I mean, costumes,
Yes.
just the way that action, like this movie out comic booked every comic book movie, every live action comic book movie ever.
Yeah. Totally.
Hands down. They stayed true to characters and like just, they went all out and made this a comic book movie.
Yes. True to characters, yet throwing you off with others.
Yeah.
Just
kind of let me say it like say like Patrick Stewart, like a British guy would, right? They definitely took the piss out of Fox on this one.
yes, for sure.
Because they brought all those Fox Marvel characters back.
Oh yeah,
Not all of them, but a lot of them.
a lot of them. Yeah.
So, all right, where do we want to start? I mean, we want to start with the beginning. This is going to be spoiler heavy.
Sure. Absolutely.
If you haven't seen it yet,
yeah, where you been?
you're definitely not part of the $1 billion it made, which
Right.
is. So we're talking to a small audience if you ain't seen it yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, right at the beginning, man, so the big question when this movie was coming out, how are they going to do Wolverine
Right.
after Logan?
Yeah, he gone.
He gone. And they addressed that right away.
Yeah.
They addressed that right away, like, and even addressed the, like, you know, we said we weren't going to touch Logan and we were going to respect it or whatever. We lied.
Right.
Because as he's saying that, he's digging up Logan's grave.
Yes.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, oh, they're going here right off the get.
Yep.
He's digging up his grave. And he's like, oh, there's a thing about regenerative healing and all this. And, you know, you just don't die.
Right.
And it dunk, dunk, dunk. I was mistaken. You know?
Yeah.
So there he is chilling with Logan's corpse. All skeletoned out.
Oh, yeah.
And what's the group called? It was the
Oh.
TVA.
There you go. Yep.
The TVA.
Right.
So the TVA officers show up. Deadpool's in trouble. Now he's in a fight.
Yep.
So what's the perfect song and weapon for the opening of a Deadpool movie?
well, boy band for sure.
Yeah, why not have him dance to NSYNC's Bye Bye Bye?
Yep.
And kill all the TVA agents with pieces of Logan's corpse.
Right.
Wow. Honoring Logan, right?
Exactly.
He's going to dismantle his corpse to use as weapons as he's killing. And masterful use of the opening credits. Like it's showing up on the femur after it goes through a body.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's one
Exactly.
thing the Deadpool movies have done so well is opening credits.
Oh, absolutely.
So in this one, no exception.
No exception. Right.
I mean, I was immediately thinking, man, I shouldn't have got the big beer. And I shouldn't have ordered a second one to come out during the film. Because with this much liquid, if this movie's going to be this funny the whole way through,
Right.
I'm probably going to piss my pants.
That's hilarious.
Because I'm laughing real hard out the gate.
Yep.
So, opening sequence, anything you want to add to that? I've been just talking away.
No. I mean, you basically nailed it all, and it was hilarious. I mean, they knew they had some stuff to answer for, and they just did it right away and did it, just threw it right in your face, So,
Well, yeah, I mean, that is one hell of a way to address the elephant in the room right out the gate. Like, how can Wolverine be alive?
Right.
We saw Logan.
right,
Well, he's not. Here's proof. Deadpool's beating all these guys with his corpse.
right.
Which, man, when he put the claws on,
That was funny.
stabs himself in his own arm.
Yep.
Oh, man. Yeah, that whole sequence was just too funny.
Yeah.
And then the choreography, like he's doing the dance from the music video.
Almost. How can you not really?
I mean, it's just too funny because, like, that's when I was in high school and stuff like that. Like, this is TRL back in the day. I'm getting on.
Oh God, yeah.
So, yeah, it just had me cracking up. So then he has to go on a search. Well, he finds out that Logan was a anchor being, right?
Right.
So now their universe is going to be destroyed.
Oh, right, yeah.
And Deadpool, for all the lack of empathy and things like that he shown in the past, can't help but get over his friends and things like that.
Right.
So he can't let his universe be destroyed, so he's going to replace his universe's Logan with another one.
Right. So enter the multiverse, basically.
Yeah. Which they make fun of repeatedly. The whole multiverse idea that's like, it doesn't work. It hasn't worked since Alice in Wonderland. Like, it's just
Right.
like,
Exactly.
Was it Alice in Wonderland? No, it was Wizard of Oz.
Okay, yeah.
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
It hasn't worked since Wizard of Oz. They did it right, like just all this shit. So that I got a kick out of, because I will say the whole multiverse thing has become kind of a crutch.
Oh, sure. That's one thing that we kind of,
we
talked
feared.
about. Yeah.
We feared with Star Wars,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
They did the World Between Worlds thing, and we're like, oh
yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
And they're still flirting with it.
Thankfully, they haven't gone there yet. Yeah.
But they're still flirting with it.
Sure.
With Ahsoka. Like,
right.
There's kind of been this little allusion to it. Like, they haven't gone there, but like with the temple and the markings with the father, and like it's just, yeah.
Right.
Because what is it? The statues or whatever at the end of season 1?
Yes.
It's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
They're flirting with it.
Uh-huh.
Don't do it. Like, I know we're angry, but no.
Exactly.
Just take what you've done. You know, take your medicine. Move on.
Right. Move on.
So while looking for a replacement Wolverine, he's traveling through the multiverse and seeing these various Wolverines.
Yes.
And just, man, I tell you what, every comic book fan is just digging the hell out of this scene, this whole sequence.
Right.
Because you got the short Wolverine, right? They CGI Hugh Jackman. He's super short, like 5'3",
yes.
right? Which
hilarious
is, in the comics, the old comics, that's about Wolverine's height. It's about 5'3".
Okay. Yep.
So by doing the movies and stuff and having Hugh Jackman, which is about 6'2",
right.
People were always like, hey, he's too tall. He's too tall to be Wolverine. Wolverine was always short.
Right.
So they throw this in there. Yes. Alternate universe, 5'3" Wolverine.
Right.
And then they go through the various Wolverines from comic books over the years, like Patch, right? He's in the white suit, got the eye patch, undercover gambling at a casino or whatever.
Right.
Backroom casino, most likely, is the way it looked.
Yeah.
You got the handless Wolverine from like Age of Apocalypse.
Right.
You know, you got comic book people can correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say that the Wolverine and Incredible Hulk, because he shows up, he's like, hey, aren't you the one that fought the Hulk? I want to say that was Wolverine's first ever appearance.
Oh, okay.
Okay, he actually appeared in an Incredible Hulk comic fighting the Incredible Hulk.
Interesting.
Don't quote me on that, but I'm 90% certain that that's the first time we ever saw Wolverine in comic books.
Okay.
Not the first time I saw him, but the first time people saw him in comic books.
Right.
So, you got Wolverine mounted on the X on a pile of skulls.
Right.
You know, that is a comic book cover.
Exactly. That's a classic one that even I recognized.
Yep. And then of course you got the Cavalrine.
Yes. Which is my favorite, I gotta say, by the way.
Henry Cavill
yes.
as Logan. Like, it's just funny.
Yes,
you know, and I love that one because it's like, oh, it's the Cavalrine. I've heard of this. Yeah. You know, it's like, what? I haven't heard of this.
Exactly.
Like, that's Superman, dude. Like, that's not... Never heard of him as Wolverine. Gotta say.
The beautiful part of that one, my lover, my wife had no idea until after we got home, because they did such a good job with the makeup and everything. You know, it's like, that was Henry Cavill, and she's like, who? I'm like, Superman? The Witcher? Oh, that was.
Oh, dude, he looked like Hugh Jackman.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, he looked like, dare I say it, he looked like a younger Hugh Jackman.
Right.
I mean,
which holds up.
Yeah. I mean, he looked good. If he wouldn't have said Cavalrine,
right,
and just played the scene out like it was another one of I would have never known.
Right, exactly.
I mean, other than I read somewhere that the way he put his claws out, because that was different.
Oh, okay.
Right, you notice he kind of like flicked each wrist one at a time.
I guess I didn't catch that. Okay.
Yeah, so instead of just like pulling both hands down and throwing his claws out like Wolverine does,
right,
he like flicks them out one at a time.
Huh.
And like rolls his wrist from the inside of it, like towards his torso, out and down. Like almost like he's like cracking his wrist.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's just like, it's like, that was weird.
Yeah.
I saw an article somewhere that like he did that in some movie before he punched somebody and they loved it and they left it in the movie.
Oh, okay.
So they used that as his putting his claws out.
Man, that is a deep cut.
Yeah, I saw that somewhere. I just like stumbled onto it. And I saw the footage and yeah, he sure as hell, because I noticed the claw thing.
Right.
Like I that was very different and I dug it. I just thought it was like they just had him do it differently because it's Henry Cavill, not Hugh Jackman.
Right.
Like, because I've never seen him like flick them out one at a time. It's always like, pulls his hands in and like throws them down and there's the claws.
Right.
So I thought that was neat.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
And to put it as something that Henry Cavill had done before, it was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, sorry. And I guess I kind of glazed over this fact. The reason why he's trying to save his universe too, like not just save his friends and everything, but Deadpool's also on a mission to do something meaningful.
Right.
He's trying to join the Avengers.
Yeah,
he has
exactly.
He has an interview with Happy.
Oh yes, he does. Yes.
Because what I love the one he's like. So is the man coming, or what do you say? The guy or the man, or like is he coming? Something like that.
Right.
And he's like, he doesn't do these, and he's like, cameos.
Right.
That fourth wall was nonstop in this film.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, more so than the other two Deadpools probably combined.
Yes. And yeah, you had a good way of putting it too.
Dude, the movie broke the fourth wall.
Exactly.
Like the scenery. Like there's so many little details, not like, and there's big ones too, like the 20th Century Fox logo being in the desert behind them when they're getting ready to fight.
Right.
Like all crumpled and ruined like it's Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Which, ironically, who made Planet of the Apes? Pretty sure that was 20th Century Fox.
Yeah.
So, but, or it might have been Universal.
Sure.
I think originally it was 20th Century Fox. Became Universal later.
Right.
Twentieth Century Studios. This was before it's 20th Century Fox. So, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, I mean, there's like, you look in the background when they're in the void, like you see Asgard, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I said, the film itself is like breaking the fourth wall. It's so wild. But yeah, he wants to be an Avenger, all this stuff. Like, so he's trying to get an interview with Iron Man to become an Avenger.
Right. Which I don't know. It's just hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And like, really, that stays in play the whole film. Like, you get to the end, and Wolverine's telling him, "Oh, they'd be lucky to have you."
Right.
After hating him for the entire movie.
Exactly.
So yeah, I guess that naturally takes us into their fights.
Oh yeah.
The first one, man, I gotta say, like they're squaring up, and like I'm already thinking, oh yeah. And then Deadpool turns to the camera and he's like, "All right, nerds, get your special sock."
Oh God. Yes.
I'm like, done.
Done. Oh man.
But I mean, it's, and then, to make that even better, right? So they're about to fight the first time. What does Wolverine do? Puts his claws out, gets down on all fours, and charges him.
Yes. Yes.
I'm like, oh my God.
Yep.
Like, that is probably the absolute moment you're like, okay, we are getting this is comic books, man.
Right.
This is a comic book movie. They are not trying to sugarcoat it at all, make it for every audience, try to make it like real life.
Exactly.
No. It's a comic book movie.
Yep.
It should be like a comic book. Nailed it.
Absolutely.
All right, man. I've taken the lead on a bunch of these. Go ahead and take one.
Like, okay. I don't know. I might be skipping around or whatever. I don't know. Just
it's what we do.
The whole the fight in the minivan.
Oh man,
amazing! I just these guys are just like, laying into each other, and this whole he has the whole I don't know what you would call it, but the Hana Odyssey, it's
right.
I don't know. And then they're making their way to whatever it is, the Ant-Man fort, whatever.
Well, that was after escaping there, right?
Was it? Okay.
Yes, that was after escaping there. They're looking for
that's
the...
right. That's right. So, yes, leaving there. And again, these guys, they just can't get away from trying to kill each other.
Oh, I love how it works out. Like, Wolverine snaps, says a bunch of things.
Right.
Deadpool leans over. He's like, "I'm going to fight you."
Right.
And they start fighting in the van.
In the van. Yes. Destroying the van.
Destroying the van, destroying each other.
Yes. Yes.
And I love the comedic breaks in the fights and stuff, like, "Oh, baby knife."
Yeah. Oh God. Yes. That was a running theme throughout. Oh yeah.
Oh, how'd you like the making the suit? Not to, we're gonna jump around. Let's do it.
That's fine. Yeah.
How'd you like the making the suit montage?
Oh, right.
your tailor's a predator. I love it.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
And gotta say too, like talking about the Deadpool suit, the best iteration of it.
Right.
That suit was awesome.
Right. Yes, that it was good. Yeah, I don't know. Man, what's his name? Chris Evans, right?
Evans, yeah.
Oh my God.
So in an attire, so his attire, right? The way he's like dressed,
Yep.
his mannerisms, all that stuff is very much a replication of a variant of Captain America in a comic book.
Okay.
So, gonna get everyone going.
It had me going.
And you know, you got Deadpool. He's all like, oh, it's him.
Right.
It's him. You know.
Oh yeah. Thinking it's Captain America. Yeah, not so much.
Thinking he's gonna say the classic like Avengers Assemble.
Right. Yes. He's gonna say it. Yeah.
He's gonna say it. Flame on. What the fuck? Well, I mean, he says something in there too, like calling Pyro. I'm rolling with it.
Okay, go for it.
I think it was Pyro.
Okay.
Calling him a name. Like, called him a shit something or something like that. And you see Deadpool's head snap around like, wait a second.
Right.
Like, that's your first clue.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how Captain America talks.
Exactly.
I love this scene. Oh, and how Deadpool gets him dead?
Yeah. This whole long quote. Yeah, he said it. and it's something, I cannot repeat the phrase. I wouldn't even try.
Oh, man, it's so long.
It's so long. But,
I mean,
stick around for the end credits, that's all.
Yeah. You got to stick around for the end credits because he said it.
Right.
What I love about that, too, is like right after he dies, Wolverine's immediately in his, like, you got him killed, blah, 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 blah. He's like, he was blowing up the budget for the film. Like,
Right. He's blowing up the budget for the film single-handedly. Yes.
Yeah, just masterful.
Yes.
Oh, I guess, man, we're running long.
Yeah.
So I guess we got to fly here. I thought we were going to be quick here.
Yeah, I know.
I was wrong. I was wrong. So they find these others because, I mean, we still got to get to the end. The last fight.
Right.
So they find the others, right? And they come in one by one, of course.
Oh, right. Yes. This one. Yeah.
Right. So the first one, we get Jennifer Garner as Elektra.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, okay. And they're making comments about her divorce.
Yes.
From Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
And just like, oh, man. Next up was Blade, right?
Blade, yep.
Yeah. So Wesley Snipes walks in.
Right.
We got Blade. I'm like, oh, man. Here we go. And then we get that kind of wish list character, right?
Yes.
One that was met with both controversy and intrigue when it was talked about, which was Channing Tatum as Gambit.
There was controversy.
Yes, because Channing Tatum.
Okay.
Just because of what he does acting wise. So the films he plays, like really you're gonna have Gambit be Magic Mike, right? Like it's just
right. Gotcha.
So that kind of controversy.
Okay, I see.
But at the same time, people are like, I kind of want to see it, you know?
Right.
Gotta say, before we get to the one hang up I would have had, I kind of wish we would have got to see it. Because when we got to see him fight,
Oh, yeah.
it was like, holy crap, this version of Gambit is kick-ass.
Exactly.
Like, just awesome. They went all the purple glow, all the energy, everything going on like comic booky
Oh, yeah.
as you can get.
This is my wife's favorite X-Men. So
Oh, dude, I'm a huge Gambit fan.
so it's like, and then when he spoke, oh my gosh, she
man.
loved it. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I love that they made sure that he had that Creole accent,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like that
Yep,
that
yep.
Louisiana
Yes.
French. But they overdid it.
Yes.
They overdid it. There's some you absolutely had to really be paying attention to even understand what he said, and they intentionally put some things in there that you cannot understand because they're not actually words.
Right.
And not only did they do that, but Deadpool said that's not words.
Right.
And it said, "Who's your dialect coach? The Minions?"
Oh, beautiful. Yes. Yes. I love it.
But when they dialed it back and he's just delivering the accent, playing the character, getting ready to fight, you know, talk about he's going to make a name for himself, and you make sure you tell everyone about this day, what happened here today. Like, awesome.
Yes.
They
Absolutely.
really should have made this movie.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and man, when I saw him pull that move where the cards like spin around the top of him, and then he like dispose them out.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's what we need to see in comic book movies, people.
Absolutely.
That reminded me, like, there were some of those moves, especially the staff. And I don't know how many people, you know, really got into this, because the staff, we've seen various iterations of this. Somewhere it was the staff, somewhere it was the staff with like an energy glow on the ends.
Right.
Others where the staff was like fully lit, and the one that reminds me of that was the I want to say Sega Genesis era X-Men arcade game,
Yep, yep.
and the whole staff was lit.
Right.
Right, it was this purple glow. It's awesome. That reminded me of that.
Yeah.
And then not only that, you have all these other, you know, X-Men villain, what's the word I'm looking for? Alumni
Oh, right. Yes.
show up. With a Star Wars connection, I might add. Because Toad was there.
Okay. Refresh me. Toad.
Played by Ray Park.
Oh, right. Okay. Nice.
Yep. So Ray Park returns as Toad.
Love it.
Absolutely love it. Like, yeah, it was really good stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Super, super funny.
Yeah. So now we got to fast forward to the end.
Yes.
What's the main villain chick's name? I keep forgetting.
So do I.
It's Professor X's sister.
Right.
Cassandra?
Maybe.
Yeah, I gotta pull it out. I want to say it's Cassandra. Come on, computer, cooperate. Cassandra Nova.
There we go.
Didn't even have to look it up. Look at that.
Excellent.
Badass. Well, she comes into Deadpool's universe because they got this timeline ripper going, right? She wants to use it
Right.
to not only destroy his timeline, but destroy others and fill the void.
Right.
All that'll be left is the void. Like,
Yeah. You gotta wonder about these villains' like intentions sometimes. It's like you want to make a bunch of nothing. Great. You know.
oh, she was nuts.
Yeah.
So, which I love the way they disabled her was putting Juggernaut's helmet on.
Yeah.
And oh man, I almost forgot about that. That was the last of the other cameos that showed up. Was X-23, right?
Oh, right. Yes.
Like, what was her other name? Laura, right? Laura.
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Yeah. So she shows up, which was once they got to the fight, which was absolutely awesome because she puts the sunglasses on. I'm like,
Right.
This is great. I love the
sunglasses, the white with flowers on them. Yeah, exactly.
from when she was a kid in Logan, right? Like,
yes.
I love the little nods
Yes.
all along the way. Just over and over again, there's just little nods, and I love it. But, yeah, so they end up back in Deadpool's timeline, and Cassandra's brought reinforcements. And it's all these Deadpool variants.
Yes, all the Deadpools. Yeah.
It's Lady Deadpool, which, fun cameo is his wife, Blake
Right.
Lively. Like,
Right.
you got Headpool, the floating head, right?
Right.
This is, of course, I'm gonna forget his name. It's right on tip of my tongue. Castle.
Oh.
Firefly. Come on.
Firefly. Right. Mel. Right. Oh.
Why does this happen?
I don't know. As Star Wars fans, we should know.
Oh man, I love Firefly. Like,
Yeah. Oh, this is killing me.
Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion. Yes.
I feel like an idiot.
Yes, I know.
So you got Nathan Fillion. You got Cowboy Pool.
You're right.
Matthew McConaughey.
Exactly.
Just cameoing it up. I guess they felt like they didn't have enough.
Right.
So fast forward, final fight, right? As they're getting ready, they walk around the corner. You got the slow-mo.
Yes.
I think during the slow-mo, Madonna's already playing, right?
Yes. Yes. To Madonna. Gotta love it. Yes.
What a soundtrack, right?
It's amazing. Yes.
And they're getting ready, and Wolverine reaches back
Oh, yeah.
and pulls up the hood. It's the mask.
Yes.
He puts the mask on. I'm like, so Kat actually, turned to me and said, "Seriously, Joe?" Because we're in the middle of the movie theater. All he does is reach to the back of his head, and I'm like, "Oh, fuck yeah!" And he pulls it up. I'm like, "See?" And she's like, "Okay, it was pretty cool."
Yeah.
And they proved to everyone that it does not look that stupid.
Right. I've never got that. I mean, you read the comics. He wears the mask in the comics. It's like, come on. I understand you might want to appeal to a wider audience and all, that might not get into it or whatever, but it's like, come on, that's the character, I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah. It was so awesome to see Wolverine fighting in full costume in live action. Go out, watch some Hugh Jackman interviews and stuff talking about it and how much he loved doing it, loved the suit. You know, he made comments that he was still wearing the suit. Like, he's like, I got it on under this, you know, like,
right.
He loved that suit. So it was an awesome suit. They took comic book Wolverine, brought him to screen, and it was awesome.
Yes.
I love that Hugh Jackman got constantly reminded throughout the film that he's going to be doing this until he is 90.
Until you're 90. Yes. 90. Yes. That was and oh god, they had to have the obligatory, you know, shirtless Wolverine, you know. It's
yes.
Cuz you know, Hugh Jackman is jacked, we all know. It's
right.
Yes.
I love all the comments throughout it about Hugh Jackman's career, right? And things that he's done. I mean, they even reference his divorce. And like,
right.
You know, I'm pretty sure it was in the van when they were fighting and stuff and the radio was getting changed. I'm pretty sure The Greatest Showman made an appearance
so.
on the radio.
Yep.
You know, they did not leave anything behind.
No, it was
the comedy was no holds barred. It was self-deprecating for Disney.
You know, we complain about them a lot, but I have to give Disney a little bit of credit on this one because they did allow themselves to get, like, you know, smacked around a little bit, all in good fun.
In their own film and all in good fun.
Yes.
And you know what? Self-deprecating humor is a lot of times a good way to make all the other humor good and make everything else good. Like,
yep.
It's a good icebreaker.
Yes.
It's a good icebreaker. And they really kind of like got that in pretty early with the cocaine remarks, right? Like,
oh yeah. Yeah.
You know, we can talk about it, but Disney's not going to let us do it on screen.
Right.
You know, and she's going through all the nicknames. She's like, I'm pretty sure they know all the nicknames, you know?
Oh, that was hilarious.
You know, they poked fun at the Disney woke stuff.
Yep.
You know, I loved it.
Yes.
I loved it. And you know what? Disney, take note. It's making a ton of money.
It's making a ton of money. People are loving it. My kids went back on their own to see it again. So I plan on going to see it in the theaters again if I get a chance. It's
same.
And it's like, you know, just like you said, take note because this is what you need to be doing for success. You know, and we're talking two completely different genres here, but this and what we think Skeleton Crew is going to be, you know, this is the right track.
Yeah, I mean, I looking at what we see for Skeleton Crew, it's going to be the same kind of vibe, not taking itself too seriously. It's going to be fun.
Right.
It's two different sides of the spectrum. One's rated R. One's going to be definitely kid friendly.
Yes.
You know, like,
yes.
But take note that, like, you don't have to take everything so seriously because people go to movies to escape life, the real world. Like, they want to go laugh. They want to have fun. They want to enjoy an adventure. They want to relive their childhoods with comics books and stuff like that. Like, this is what movies are about.
Yep.
This movie nailed it. Looking at the trailer, Skeleton Crew is about to nail it.
Yep.
If the trailer is indicative of what we're going to see, this is the way to go. This is the way to go.
Yep.
Not everything. Like, don't get me wrong. You got to throw some serious stuff in there.
Sure.
It's got to be there. Like it is Star Wars. There are repercussions to things that happen, but at the same time, throughout Star Wars, there has to be that adventure, that lighthearted adventure. It's not all doom and gloom.
Exactly.
It's not all, hey, tell us what's going on in the real world. Like we don't know before we came in a damn movie theater.
Exactly. That yes, we don't need that in our fantasy space drama. Yeah.
Like I just look and you're. I know there's a lot of people like, oh well, movies reflect the times all the time. Yeah, absolutely. Movies reflect the times. They reflect the past. They do all kinds of things. They echo these things.
Right.
They echo them. They don't come out and say it in my face.
Exactly.
That like when George Lucas was echoing, the bad things that went on in World War II and like, reminding us of history and stuff. Vietnam, he didn't come out and say like, he didn't like show it and go like have a character turn around and go, doesn't that remind you of the Nazis? Because that's what Disney's doing now.
Exactly. Yes. We're gonna lay it right out here for you because we think you're stupid. Apparently, yeah.
Right. Like and like let's just use an example. Like what I just said right there, and let's compare to what Disney does now. Is Disney will, cast for inclusion and things like that, which we all know, like this is a huge step forward in the world now that studios are making sure that they're not just casting the same old people all the time.
Right.
They're getting new faces in there. More people are getting exposure. More people are getting representation. All those things. These are all great.
Yep.
Right. But they'll do that. And then they'll have one of the characters talk about how this white guy is trying to keep them down. It's like, why you got to throw it in there like that? Like, just do it.
Exactly.
Just do it. And everybody gets it. We understand.
Absolutely.
And we're happy about it. Like, everybody, it's Star Wars, right? We have echoed over and over again, Star Wars is for everybody. Everybody should be represented. Everybody should be there.
Yep.
We don't need the dialogue to say it. All right.
Right. And it's like the main thing I have always said about for sure Star Wars, but with everything, it's story. Make sure the story's good and we are good.
Right.
That's what it boils down to.
Right, and when the story has to echo the news article that I read on my lunch break, like,
yeah,
that's not good.
It's not.
That's
good.
not good.
No,
that's not good. That's not making me feel like I spent good money to kind of like escape life for a few minutes and enjoy a fantasy story.
Exactly.
So yeah, learn from this.
Absolutely.
Everybody learn from this because this was fun.
Right.
It's such a blast coming in. I was so excited to do this episode because I'm like, yes, we get to talk about good stuff.
Right, for sure. I mean, I never want to completely abandon Star Wars or anything, and
let's be honest.
I never will,
Yeah, as I said, let's be honest. It's never going to happen.
Right. But it's like, I hate having to point out all of the stuff that, it's so clear to everybody, it's like everyone sees it, and it's like, let's just get back to what should and could be, that's all.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think we've about covered all of it, huh?
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, if you have anything to add, you can always email us, show@thewarsandmore.com. That's the best way to get a hold of us. We're also on social media at The Wars and More on Twitter, facebook.com/thewarsandmore. And you can find all that and all the ways to find a show over at our podcast site. and all the places you find your podcast, thewarsandmore.com, no more. So we will talk next week or in the future.